All right. So something else they want me to come on here and be verbal about. And tell y'all, the events that took place. I was in the middle of my stretch. What am I stretching for today? But okay, so Lumberton Junior High School. I know I got on here and I gave y'all like some brief stuff about it, but I have not went into like full detail, I don't believe, but it's popped in my spirit, so they want me to be verbal about it. Okay, Dr. Watson, who is the principal, the assistant principal, I don't know her name. Verucia, I can't remember her last name, but she's over the program for kids with like the slow classes, okay? Slow, challenging, people that have trouble learning in a regular setting. There's another lady, like she's over at the Board of Education level. There were quite a few of the staff there that were bullying my son. So every class that he had, which there are records of this, the teachers were bullying him. They were, just mistreating him, and disrespecting him and expecting him to just allow them to disrespect him. And I teach my kids, you got to give respect to get it. And that's with, people who think that they grown as well. So it was a lot of them arguing with him, starting stuff with him, picking with him. I had a couple conferences with some of the teachers. I recorded all those conferences. There was a delay in them servicing his IEP plan. This is just some of the organized crime that they participated in. Dr. Watson was working with the sheriff's department. And I believe the day that I went out there, I went out there for like Wacky Tacky Day, and we just walked around the campus and observed and, did some things. He was really trying to pick my brain and trying to get ideas so that he could take them and say, well, I did this and I did that, but, it's not the same when, you're not the person that came up with the plan. There was a lady that was with the STEM program or something like that. These are just some of the people that I personally had encounters with, me personally, that I know had participated in the organized crime. I think that day when I went out there and I was out there for like an hour or so for the Wacky Tacky. We was chatting about different things, that I seen going on. I was just sharing ideas with him, trying to help him, get help the school, perform better. And I thought at that time that it was, mutual feelings, but really he was a snake playing in my face. But I believe that day that while my truck was out there, they planted something in my truck, a listening device of some sort or something, okay? GPS device. They did something to my truck while I was out there on campus that day. Not only that, Zayden was in band, and they sent home a form for him to be issued a drum because he wanted to play drums. They kept trying to push him to get into football because I know with them wanting him to go play football, they were going to try to injure him in some type of way. All right, but he just kept saying he didn't want to play football. He wanted to play the drums. So the musician teacher, whoever that person is, they sent home a form. I filled it out, sent it back for him to be issued a drum. They never gave it to him. And so I got another form. And this particular form, I actually went to Dr. Watson's office and dropped it off with him to make sure that he could make sure that it got to who it needed to get to, because it had been weeks since I had submitted the other form and Zayden hadn't been issued a drum. Okay. So they were participating in organized crime that way. There were multiple teachers out there that were always jumping on him, that were always saying something to him about any and every little thing. I was back and forth at that school like so much it didn't make no sense, and we were only there for a little while. They did not service his IEP in no type of way, and by law they're supposed to do that. And he was just in general population all day. They wanted to try to force a behavior problem on him when Zayden doesn't have a behavior problem. Okay. I'm not going to disclose all his business, but he doesn't have a behavior problem. But they were trying to force a behavior problem onto him. They didn't service his IEP no type of way. We didn't ever get to them, transferring it over, because they had purposely significantly delayed the processing of that. And then, every day it was something. Every day it was something. They started, just putting them in ISS for the stuff that they caused. For every action, there's a reaction. So they would do something, and then he would react off of it. Like I said, I teach my kids, you got to give respect to get it. So if a grown person feel like they can just talk to you any kind of way, disrespect you any type of way, there was teachers, making discriminatory comments. They were bullying him. They were bullying him. And there was even the last incident where I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to withdraw you. There's a preacher that works there. I can't remember his name. And then there was two. He was with one set of teachers, and then I allowed them to switch him to another set of teachers. That set of teachers wasn't working, and I had requested for him to be switched back. And Dr. Watson, they like to try to pull their power cards, because they think they got some type of power. But he was like that he wasn't going to change them back. And so when I realized that he was the enemy, that's when I was like, you know what? I'm just going to withdraw him. I said what I had to say to him, and I let him know, don't hurt yourself trying to hurt me. I haven't said anything else to him about anything, but I know that he participated in organized crime because of everything that was going on at the school. They put a label on these kids to begin with because of where they're from, but there was an extra label on my son because we're a targeted family. They want to get rid of me. But there was a lot of different things that happened. There were the ISS teacher. There was a problem with the ISS teacher. There was a problem with one of the teachers. I can't remember the dude's name. I think his last name was Williams or something, but said one day he had said to Zayden, you can never be my son. Like, they were just fucking with my baby while he was out there. And it was very unnecessary. It was very discriminatory. It was very retaliatory. And it was very organized. I ended up withdrawing him. He probably attended for about 2 to 3 months. And then I was like, it's time for us to go. We done do what we need to do here. We done wrap them up in their web or whatever. But then, too, I found out that like I was working on getting child support from Zakira's sperm donor, Brendan Alexander Walton. And he works out there. And so they at the higher level, when they sent in the request for his wages, they said that he didn't work there, which they lied. Okay, that's another organized crime that the public schools of Robertson County did. It's multiple. And then when we went out there that day, like, I don't fuck with none of my baby daddies at all. They don't fuck with my kids, so I don't fuck with them. Like, I don't play that fake shit. Like, if you don't fuck with my child, I'm not getting ready to sit up here and act like I like you. You feel me? Like, we ain't cool like that. And so, because they don't fuck with my kids, I don't fuck with them. We don't fuck with them, and we don't give a fuck, and we don't give a fuck. Okay? We just do what we got to do. I'm mama and daddy. Okay? But I told y'all about him. I think I did told y'all about him coming and kidnapping her back in like 17, 18. I can't remember the exact year. I think it was 17 or 18. And I had to go through this whole drawn out long process. He wouldn't let me talk to her. The Apex Police Department stopped allowing me to do well checks on her. They were participating in organized crime. I think him getting custody was organized as well, because the lawyer sent the paperwork to a wrong address that I didn't live at, so I didn't get notice of the court date, so I couldn't attend because I wasn't there, because I hadn't got notice. They sent it to a completely wrong address. So I had to go get a lawyer to get my daughter back, to get custody back of her. The lawyer was underhanded. He was underhanded. It was a whole long, drawn-out process of like 4 or 5 months. Finally got her back. You know, she came at home. Before he got custody, he hadn't talked to her for years. And then one day he came and just kidnapped her, you know, and had custody papers that I didn't even know about. And so we went through that process. But Brandon Walton, I believe his family has something to do with the organized crime as well. I believe that his mama and my fake mama, and my fake daddy, and this is just coming in right now, organized for him to get with me and for him to impregnate me and at a young age. And, you know, I believe that they organized that. But he is a deadbeat just like the other two. They don't do nothing for my children. It's okay, because God is going to send them a father, and I do a good job at, you know, taking care of them. But yeah, I believe Brandon Walton had something to do with the organized crime that happened at the Lumberton Junior High School as well. Because I told Dr. Watson that that was my baby daddy, and I also told him that he don't do shit for his daughter. But I'm I know that they thought that I was gonna have some type of reaction being out there at the school, like, but I had already seen him, and you know, I walked up to him and just looked at him like, nigga, your daughter over there, you know what I'm saying? He was like, where? Like nigga, you don't want to see her, you don't fuck with her. But he came and said a couple words, and she was just like, she shrugged her shoulders and like, fuck that nigga, you know what I'm saying? But I don't fuck with none of them niggas, and I am not bent on none of them niggas. I know that all of them niggas were karmic, all of them were lessons that I needed to learn. None of them treated me well at all. And so, I believe that he and his daddy, Tim was out there too. I don't know if he has to like watch Brandon or something, some type of way, because he did have a brain injury, from the accident that we got into back in 2008. But Tim is out there every day, so I don't know if he is like his caregiver or something. I don't know, but I believe Melissa and Tim both have something to do with the organized crime. In regards to me getting set up with Brandon, and then Brandon has something to do with the Lumberton Junior High School organized crime. I'm just throwing these names out here so that y'all can bring them in for questioning. Ask them questions about, you know, the organized crime. And you definitely need to get the footage from Lumberton Junior High School from when Zayden was attending, inside and outside. Anytime that I was out there, you need to get that footage. You need to bring all the teachers in for questioning, the principal, the assistant principal, everybody in those departments that I named. The public schools of Robertson County needs to be included in the investigation too. I think I already told y'all about them. I told y'all about the senior high school, about Robertson Community College. They wouldn't even let my daughter in. Okay, so all of this was so that they could try to get a reaction out of me, because what they have been trying to do is say that, you know, there's something wrong with me. Okay, they've been trying to say that there's something wrong with me, that I can't manage myself, that, you know, I need somebody to care for me. But I've been caring for myself all my life, for real. I've been on my own since I was 16. Like, living on my own since I was 16. Like, I left when I was 16. I've been back and forth, you know, being low income, you know, projects, you know, income-based housing. That's been my life. So I don't know who it is, but I know that somebody has told a court system somewhere that they take care of me, and that I live with them. And you know, they told a whole bunch of lies that they trying to get to stick, but they're not going to stick, because it's just me and my kids here. It's always been me and my kids. I have records, you know, we can pull up records from all the past places that I've lived. You know, don't nobody help me pay my bills. Don't nobody do nothing for me. You know, ain't nobody around doing all that. But I just got on here to tell y'all about Lumberton Junior High School, because it popped in my spirit while I was stretching, so I wanted to get it out. And before I get into my workout today. But Lumberton Junior High School, Dr. Watson over there, him and his staff have participated in organized crime. And if y'all have not already got surveillance on them and added them to the investigation, you need to add them. You need to bring them in for questioning, and you need to get the footage from the day of Wacky Tacky, the inside and the outside of the school. Okay, because they did something to my car, to my truck, while I was there that day on campus, participating in the Spirit Week. And like I said, they had organized crime before we got there in regards to Zayden, and how they were going to treat him, and how they were going to say this and say that, but it didn't work because I ended up withdrawing them. But they did. The big plan that they planned didn't work because I ended up withdrawing them. But the plan of them, you know, bullying him and harassing him, and, you know, getting to him, they did do that while he was there. And but they failed to get a reaction out of me. So I know that they thought that them, you know, doing all that stuff to him was gonna rattle me and was gonna have me, you know, all on edge and doing this and doing that. When I come in the room, I command my respect, and I command, you know, bitch, I'm gonna say what I got to say, and I'm gonna just be done with it. It ain't gonna be no arguing. It ain't gonna be no fuss, and I don't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not confrontational. I like to problem solve. And so every time I went in there, I was always, how can we solve this problem? But none of the teachers out there are qualified. You know, they just doing something. They don't need to be out there dealing with them kids because they don't know how to treat them. It's really just a big ass fucking daycare, and really they need to be teaching the kids financial literacy. They need to be teaching the kids how to grow their own food, how to, you know, live on their own and things of that nature. But all they doing is wasting the kids' time, for real. But we're not gonna get all into that. I just got on here to tell y'all about Dr. Watson and his crew at Lumberton Junior High School because it popped into my spirit this morning. Well, just now, and I want to get it out before I get all the way into the rest of my workout and stuff. But I'm just gonna keep telling y'all about my experiences and about different people and entities who have organized crime against me and my children, and explain to y'all what they have done. Okay? And we're gonna be suing all you motherfuckers, and all you motherfuckers going to prison. But I just got on here to tell y'all about that because it hit my spirit today. If y'all are liking the content, be sure to hit the like, subscribe button, share the video, you know, leave a comment. I respond. But this is my life, my real life true story. And it is for real out here. It's real. All right. This is what it's like being God's chosen number one. No matter where I go, no matter what I do, they know who I am. And they have plans to end me, but them ending me, they always fail. Okay?
So you are with him, brother.